Hey everyone, welcome to IG8Live Esports. This evening we're live with New Horizon racing for round 7 of 22, and it's the one and only Monaco Grand Prix. So we do expect quite an excellent race this evening from them, providing the way this grid usually races. We've missed about a few races with them for the past 2 or 3 weeks, but we should be back on a regular schedule from this week on and going. So yeah, let's see. We got the 19 drivers on the grid, always close to a full grid, or actually a full grid with these guys. So not too bad, just one driver short of full grid, and we're on already for our short qualifying session. We'll be getting finished with that pretty soon, and then getting straight to our 50% race. And before we get on to that though, guys, please make sure you do leave a like on the stream, guys, and remember, if you're new around here, just subscribe to the channel, because we do these races almost every day. We got something going on for one of these leagues that we do stream for. So just make sure to subscribe with notifications on, so you know when we're gonna go live. And new feature added on, guys, there is a link in the description to join on to our channel's Discord. Just so well, just for a few reasons actually, so we can have viewers be able to have a chat with some of our drivers, and also easier for anyone who wishes to join one of these leagues to actually get in contact with league owners and admins and so on, and also easier for different leagues to communicate with each other. So we got a number of drivers out on track already, getting started with their opening out laps, and we'll start to see some hot laps here pretty soon. I think we're following on with Scotty here right now on his out lap. So let's wait for just a bit. Lap times around here usually range from maybe like about a minute 8 second, minute 9 second, going about minute 10, 12. It depends. We'll see where these guys are at when we start to get some lap times in here. I'm just trying to remember from whatever the last Monaco Grand Prix was I did. I think that was probably with PGL. I can't remember, for their Wednesday league maybe. But yeah, we'll see how competitive these guys are going to be on the grid, as we already have a few drivers, I think, starting on their hot laps. And I will start to get some lap times in here pretty soon. And it is a pretty tight track around here on Monaco, as we always know. And it's going to be quite similar next week as well, when we get to round 8, because it's going to be at Azerbaijan. So that's going to be quite an interesting one to look forward to as well. But let's get on with this one. Looks like Night Sniper is already out of this session, unfortunately. So let's get the map on screen so we can see what happened. Maybe have a look at where he went off, if possible here. I'm not sure where that happened exactly, or if he just retired because he maybe had a quali ban. I'm not even sure about that, because I did miss a few things, as I said before. So let's just continue on here right now. And I think Scott is just getting through sector 1, going into sector 2 now with his hot lap, as we're on board with him. So let's see how he finishes this lap and where he'll place. So we got two lap times in already, and right around where we expected them to be. We got a 111.5 for Big Irish in P1 currently, Lister 112.6, and Barry Burbs with a 114. So not too bad so far, just at the exit of the tunnel section here. Quite a difficult part of the track actually to get right when you get down to that chicane just at the end of the tunnel there. But we got Scotty doing pretty well so far, has not invalidated this lap on any account on this go so far. First attempt at this, and he's getting through the end of sector 3 back to on the pit straight here right now. And let's see how fast he's actually gone as he goes across the line. Goes P3 at 111.1, puts him in P3 for now. So Johnny Stokes 6 on P1, 110.1, Redoit in P2, 110.9. Not too bad of a time. And let's see who else we got on hot laps here at the moment. I think Vagilis might be on a hot lap. Let's have a look at him. Oh, and he invalidated his lap time, so we'll definitely have to try that again. And I wonder if that graphic is stuck at the bottom of the screen again. Always some sort of glitch going on with this game. So we'll just ignore that for now. So Love Hate Games goes 155. Not too good of a time. He's going to have to try and improve upon that. I see we got Rob there with a 113.9, Darson 113.6, all Jennifer with a 112.9. So it's a different range of lap times so far going through. but I'm quite sure that's going to be changing up just a bit as we continue on through the session. Now, we got just about 30 minutes left in this qualifying, so still a bit of time to go and about half of the grid yet to get their lap times in. Now, we got Vangelis on another hot lap going through, and he's just on a purple sector 1, so let's see how sector 2 is going to go for him, and hopefully he does have a better lap on this account and not invalidate to get a good lap time in. I think so far so good for him. We're waiting for him to get to the end of this sector 2. I think sector 2 is the longest part of this track, or it just seems to be the longest part of the track. Yeah, he's got a proper sector 2 as well so far. So Mercedes looking to be on top here at the moment. Let's see if we can finish off sector 3 without invalidating the lap and getting a pretty good lap time in. So he's about to get across the line here right now and goes P1, fastest in the session so far with a 109.9. Puts that on provisional pole for now, and let's see who else is coming on. I think we got Masbaron and TNE Hawk is still in the pits. We got Crooksy there as well. We're going to have to go through a bit of the results. Maybe wait for a safety car during the race, which we're probably expecting to have. We got Jordan a pretty fast lap here at the moment in a Red Bull, and we'll see where his lap time lands as he finishes his lap. Gets a purple sector 1 so far, so on for a pretty good lap. And let's see if he's able to just finish the rest of the lap and continue on that way there. Which hopefully for him he does without invalidating that lap, because it is very tight around here. If you do make a mistake, there's really not too much runoff here to work with. You're probably going to end up in a barrier somewhere. So probably best to keep it as clean as possible and careful as possible on track when running here at Monaco. It's still one of the most difficult circuits for myself included, for a lot of drivers as well. So not as easy as we expect to get around here without damaging this car. I think he's getting back into the pits and not finishing that lap. So we're going to have to wait for that just a bit. I think William Hammett is out on a out lap at the moment. So we're waiting for a few drivers to try back their laps without invalidating or taking any damage onto their car. And I think some of the drivers on the front of the grid are starting to get back out, because I see Big Irish and Johnny Stokes already on an out lap already. Dawson on an out lap already. I think Barry is already doing another hot lap. So let's see how he gets on with that and where he's gonna go. And yeah, that fastest lap graphic is just a glitch stuck at the bottom of the screen. Oh, and that's Wooly into the barriers there, so he's lost a bit of front wing. Luckily for him, just before the pit entrance, so he gets to go back in quickly and get it back for another lap there. We got TNE Hawk and Crooksy on out laps here at the moment. So I think we're going to wait for a bit somewhere in the race. We'll probably have VSC or safety car at some point. We'll use that to go through whatever the standings is so far for constructors and for the driver standings. I think it's been updated up to round 6, which was last week. So we'll get to go through that a bit. It'll be a bit new for me as well, as I haven't been following what's going on and who's leading the drivers championship, which team is leading the constructors thus far. So we'll have a look at that in just a bit as well when you get to that session. We got just under 10 minutes right now for qualifying here, and we're going to wait to see just the bottom half of the grid yet still to make their lap times in. So we got Masborough and TNE Hawk and Crooksy all on out lap 0 as well, and all should be coming in with their lap times pretty soon, as he seems to be flying around here at the moment. And I know TNE Hawk is a pretty fast guy, so let's see where he goes on the grid, as he's about to get on back to the pit straight right now and finish this lap. Alright, so all on their hot laps here right now, so we should start to see them finish pretty soon. We still got Vagilis holding on to provisional pole right now. It is 109.9. Johnny still there in second, 110.1, and Deutsche in P3, 110.9. And those are the 3 fastest time we have in the session so far. Other than that, we have a few 111s, 112s, and 113s going the rest down the grid, and we still had enough time for everyone to try and get a better time in. Of course, getting a perfect lap around Monaco is not one that is easily accomplished because the way the track is, and then there's not a lot of room to let cars go by as well, especially when you're not on hot lap. It's a bit difficult to get out of the way sometimes, and but drivers do try to just give each other space and work around with that. And how far away is Crooksy right now? He is right behind TNE Hawk and coming around there. So waiting to see, oh, and I think he hits the barrier with the rear tires of the car just a little bit, but I think he's pushing pretty hard. So let's see how fast this lap is going to be, as it looks like he might finish here pretty well. Let's see, goes P3 110.7, sorry. And Crooksy goes 109.846, about 1/10 faster than what Radulus did, so not too bad at all, I gotta say. Quite a competitive lap time. Let's see who else is out here and running. Where is Mazban right now? I think he's about to go across the line here as well. Let's have a look. And he goes P10, 112.052, not too bad, 2/10 faster than what Rob did. And is anyone else currently on a lap, which is what we're trying to have a look at here right now. Let's go back out front. TNE have finished already. I think Scotty might be on another lap and running here right now, flying around Sector 1 at the moment. No purple sectors so far, but seems to be on a pretty good lap. Let's have a look and see where he finishes. So far as it stands, Crooksy is currently holding on to provisional pole start with a 109.8, and Radulus in second, 109.9. Johnny Soaks down to third now with his 110.1, and he's definitely going to have to try and improve that time if he can. But I think it's going to be a pretty competitive start, and we'll see how that goes though, because I think the front of the grid is going to have the best chance of getting away pretty well when we get started with this race. Of course, the rest of the grid might not be so lucky, because there might be some incidents as we continue on through. Scotty getting a purple sector 2 here right now, not a purple sector 1, but still stands a pretty good chance of getting in the top 3 at least, if he can get a pretty good time down here. I think he might have lost a 10 for a second there. Just making a slight mistake, I think, with that, as he finishes the lap and goes 110.8. I think he stays right there in P5. I don't think he improved upon that lap, but let's see where Doherty is right now. I think he's coming into Sector 3 right now, and does a proper Sector 2 as well. Let's see if he's able to improve upon his time and maybe get a position more up if he can. So far so good. We got just about 2 more drivers left to make a lap time in the session, and we still got Love Hate Games who needs to improve upon his lap time that he currently has. So Doherty stays right there at a 110.8. Let's see how that's going to hold. I think he's going for another lap already on these tires here. Got a bit of traffic in front of him though to work with, and he's still trying to go on through. So let's see if he's able to improve on that lap time there. We got Radulus and Johnny Stokes both on out laps here at the moment, so they're going to be trying to improve their time as much as they can here right now. Radulus is actually pretty close to Crooksy there, so let's see how the two of them get away when we do get to that racetrack, because it looks like it might be the two of them on the front row. Still got 2 drivers down at the back of the grid yet to make some lap times in. I think they're still back into the pits, so we're going to wait on them to get out back before we have a look at what they're trying to do. So Johnny Stokes on a hot lap here going through. He's flying around the track, so let's see where he's going to be placed when he does get his time done. Currently the 110.1, currently holding him on in P3 for a start on the second row of the grid, which is not too bad of a place to start here at Monaco, but I think he's trying to get as high up as he can here right now, just trying to improve it as much as he can. Just a short qualifying session, under 4 minutes left to go, and let's see what's going to happen. That's a purple sector 2 so far for Johnny Stokes. So let's see if he's going to be improving that lap time from his 110.1 that he currently has, as he's about to go across the line any second here right now. and does improve. It goes 109.766, 110 faster than where Crook City takes over provisional pole. And he's going to hold on to that for now, but we do have Angeles on a lap there, I think. Oh, and TNE Hawk now takes it away with a 109.748, 200 of a second faster than what Johnny Stokes just did. So quite impressive of a time from him. And as we always know, it's always quite a bit of a change happening right down to the end of the last 2 minutes of a qualifying session. So is more than what we expect to happen. So let's see if anyone else is getting out on track right now to try and get a better time. I think Raceway might be on a hot lap going. We'll have a look at that, see where he's at. I don't know if Crooksy is going to be able to... I think he's getting back. Is he getting back out of track here right now? And yep, he is getting back on an outlap here right now. So he's going to try and improve his time from 109.846 to see if he can get past what TNE Hawk just did with a 109.7 there. Let's go on down to Raceway here, see what he is up to right now. Is he on a fast lap or not? I'm not sure. He might be. We're going to keep it on him for just a bit to see if he's on a fast lap or not. I'm not sure. We also got Scotty getting out on an outlap there as well. Let's see how he's going on his outlap here at the moment. So far so good in qualifying though. We got just about a minute and a half left and some very competitive lap times from 109s all the way down to a 112 to be competitive, 114 and a 155. Let's see if they're going to try and improve those times. And Nice and Spicer's back in the pit, still yet to make a lap time in here. So we're following on with Scotty here at the moment, and he's invalidated his current lap, so he's not going to be able to finish that. And I think Crooksy on a fast lap here right now. Let's see where he is going to go, if he's about to improve on his time or not. So let's see, he's coming to the end of Sector 1 here right now, and let's see if he does get a faster time. Nope, not a proper Sector 1, but still could be on for a pretty good lap, maybe even going into second place for the race start. We'll see how that works, because not too far off right now from TNE Hawk's time. As he gets out the tunnel section there, let's see how his Sector 2 time is shaping up. Might be on a pretty good lap here. I'm not sure how fast it is. And it's a proper Sector 2, so they seem to be doing pretty well in the Sector 2 in terms of getting past each other's time. I think he had a bit of a contact with the wall there as well, getting to Sector 3. But let's see how he finishes this lap, because he's getting onto the pit straight here right now, and 109.846. Let's see if he goes faster. Goes faster actually. 109.410 goes on to provisional pole for now, and that's going to be it for Johnny Stokes and TNE Hawk. They're not going to be able to improve their time. Where is Vangelis right now? Is he on a fast lap? Might be, and this might be another potential fast lap, going to be able to maybe go faster than either Johnny or TNE Hawk. I'm not sure. Of course, Crooksy is out there now. He's not going to be able to make another lap again. I don't think he's going to try to make another lap there either. Is he on that? No, I think he's just moving around just to get back into the pits, or probably he's going to retire off of the session there now. But let's have a look, and that's a purple Sector 2 so far from Vangelis. Might be on for a pretty good lap. Let's see where he finishes here right now, because it is his last chance right now of trying to get on the provisional pole for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix for round 7. Let's see where he goes. He goes across the line, does not go faster. 109.8, stays right there in P4. That's going to be it for him. I think Scotty's on another lap here right now as well as Al Judifa there, who is about to go across. I don't think he's going faster though. Let's have a look on where Scotty goes, if he improves on 110.8. And does go a bit faster. 110.3 improves by 5 tenths, goes up to P5 for the race start, and I think that's it for qualifying. And I'm not sure if anyone else is still wrong. I don't think so though. Nice and Spicer did not make a time. Jordan didn't make any time, and Night Sniper did not make any time in this qualifying here. Fastest time so far seems to be Crooksy there with his 109.4. And they're just a few tenths off of each other, 1 tenth to 2 tenths off of each other's time, going right down the grid all the way down to P14 with a 112.6 from Barry Burbs, and not too bad of a time. So I think it's going to be quite an interesting start with everyone being just around the same pace. Let's have a look one last time at the qualifying results for the starting grid, and Let's see where we're at with that. So Crooksy takes front row start with a 109.4, not too bad. Johnny Stokes joined him on the front row with a 109.5 in second. Tierney Hawk will start third. Dodger starts in fourth. Scotty starts all the way up in fifth, barely making that time in. And Doichi gets sixth. Racer is going to start seven. Aljiva starts in eighth. And then with Big Iris starting ninth. Lister is going to start 10th. Robin 11. Darson 12. Mass Brown in 13 and Barry there in 14. Wooly is going to start in 15 with Love Hit Games in 16. Nice Inspires in 17. Jordan there in 18 and Night Sniper down in 19. Unfortunately, 3 drivers without lap times in the qualifying session. Love Hit Games did not get to make a pretty good time in. And yeah, let's get straight into the race session and see how the race start is going to go here. Alright guys, on to our formation lap we go, and seemed to be a pretty interesting practice start for most of the drivers there, as everyone gets across pretty well, and they're just going to get everything up to temperature. I don't think they want to get started on this race with a cold tires. As tight as this track is, it's going to be quite difficult with a race starter, because as we know, turn 1 is a very short run getting down into turn 1, and it's going to be quite tight getting through there for anybody trying to force it through, and they're going to definitely have to try to avoid invalidating a lap already through that. Well, no, we won't get a invalidated lap, avoiding penalties, but hopefully we don't have any major incidents on turn 1. We might have an incident happen as we continue on through to lap 1. It's kind of a bit hard to avoid sometimes, but let's see how well everyone's going to be able to get off. We might actually have a perfect start go off on this race. I'm not sure as yet. It does kind of depend on the drivers on how hard they're going to be pushing through lap 1 here. It's going to be 39 laps around Monaco here, so it's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be at least a 45-minute race, providing, well, it kind of depends. It's probably going to extend maybe by a few minutes, depending on if we have a safety car slowing down the race for just a lap or two, and if we have a few VSCs happen in between that as well. Most likely might be a 2-stop race. We'll see how that goes in terms of race strategy here for the drivers, and let's have a look at what tires are on right now. So our top 10 starting all on the softs. We got Rob starting on the hards in 11th. He's running quite a different strategy from everyone else. We got Mass Brown in 13th starting on the softs as well. Everyone else on the bottom will be starting on the mediums. So we'll see how race strategy works. But those starting on the softs, I think they're going to be running a 2-stop strategy. They might try to push for that 1-stop strategy. Some drivers here might actually try to do that by doing a soft to hard strategy if possible. It does depend on how fast tires are going to go off us, but you know, this is Monaco. We do expect safety cars, VSC, so all of that is going to come into play with the race strategy, as it's going to be, we're going to leave position changes on, and I think we're about to get to the race start here right now. So let's see what's going to happen and how good this is going. I'm not sure if our leaderboard is going to get mixed up on the race start here, but let's have a look and see how that's about to go, because I want to see if Johnny Stokes and Tierney Hawk will get a good run on Crooks here. He seems to get away pretty well actually to go into the first corner. Tierney Hawk seems to be having some problems. I'm not sure where he's disappeared to. But I think he's falling down the order quite a bit, so it seems he's all the way down in P12 right now. I'm not even sure what happened to him on the restart. We already have a virtual safety car for some sort of incident down in between, but I think that was between, well, Robson Racers already seems to have a penalty, and grid is getting a bit mixed up here right now, so we're gonna have to wait for that to sort itself through, hopefully before this VSC is over. But I think there was an issue with TNE Hawk at the race start there, and probably someone else, because he did fall along the order quite a bit. So let's have a look, and hopefully we can get back to whoever is leading the race here at the moment. Is this gonna get sorted as yet or not? I'm not even sure what's happening right now. Let's have a look. So are we on the front of the grid? Does look like we are, and we're back racing again. So Crooks is still in P1, TNE Hawk still in P2. I don't know why he had showed a bit of a different graphic before, but everything seems to be fine so far and going. But I'm not 100% sure what caused the VSC. But either way, let's continue on wards here. But Johnny Stokes lost a position to TNE Hawk there from that race start, and Vagilis right there in P4, Scott there right there in P5. Let's see what the rest of the grid is getting on. Vagilis is getting pretty close after Johnny Stokes right now to try and get that position up. Darson into the pits right now, might have some damage off from that race start. Let's get on to tires as it is here right now. We have a few bits ups happening down at the back. I'm quite sure we have some cars that had some damage from maybe some minor contact down from the race start there, but so far so good with the race start. We still have all 19 drivers on the track and running, and not too bad of a race start so far. Just a minor VSC on the race start. We're not 100% sure what caused that as yet. Just maybe a little bit too much contact between cars, probably left some debris on track, so the marshals probably wanted to get that cleared off. I think that's what probably caused it. It's like the most likely explanation, I'm not sure. But we still have a few bits of happening down in the back, and the rest of the grid is trying to get on through here right now. So as we have it, Big Irish and Aldrich might have switched positions. No, I think it was a bit of an incident happening there of the exit of the tunnel section, getting to that curve. I'm not sure. Someone seemed to have a bit of a problem there though. But Big Irish lost a position in that aspect there, and he's still out and running. We got TNE Hawk running just under a second right now behind Crooksy, so not too bad. Raceway into the pits at the moment, might have taken some damage, and taken into account drivers will be taking damage without even battling another car at this point. And now we got DRS online, so that's going to be an advantage to everyone who's running under a second behind the car in front of them, which is a lot of these guys here right now. So that DRS advantage is going to come in pretty handy, and let's see how that works out, because let's see where Raceway is here right now. He's running in 5th just behind Scotty there. We got 2 drivers so far have taken penalties in this race. Let's go on back out in front to TNE Hawk here, chasing down our race leader Crooksy there. Still holds on to the lead from the start, so has a lot of free air to work with in front of him. He's going to start to come into a bit of traffic actually pretty soon on in this race, so let's see what sort of strategy they're planning to run, because an early pit stop will avoid them getting into that amount of traffic out front. And we got a full safety car. Something's happened on track somewhere. We're trying to figure that out right now, and I think it might be, let's see, where is that? I think I see where it is, but I'm trying to figure out how we can actually get to see that here right now. Okay, let's see if we can have a look at this point. It's someone off of the exit of turn 1, I think, and yep, that's a Red Bull into the wall, and that's Doichi, who was down at the back, I guess. So he's out of the race. Might have actually just missed his braking zone and ended up in that wall, or probably had a bit of an incident with someone. Either way, he's out, and that's 18 drivers remaining, and we're under a safety car on lap 4 right now and going. We should get back racing, I think, by maybe lap 6. We'll see how that's going to work itself out. And we're going to have a number of pit stops happening, as we can see in the midfield of the grid there right now, with most of the drivers. They're going to probably get onto the hard tires, and hopefully they're going to hope they're probably going to be able to finish the race on those hard tires there, because they're hoping not to do another pit stop. Of course, that's a bit inevitable with you know, being Monaco as it is. It's going to be a bit difficult to do that, especially with the track as it and the race as it's going, because we do tend to have a lot of incidents happen, unavoidable incidents, so we'll see how that works out. Alright, so let's have a look at a few things maybe. In the meanwhile, we're under the safety car and going. I know we'll have a few pit stops and a few things will change. Let's have a quick look at what our constructor standings is at right now. So what I'm seeing here, it seems like we have Haas leading the Constructors Championship in P1 with 134 points, and they got Ferrari there in second with 128 points. So just about a 6-point difference. That might be changing today depending on how today's race go. We'll see how that works out. We got Alfa Romeo in third with 120 points, Mercedes in fourth, 94 points, and then Williams there in fifth with 77 points so far. McLaren in 6th right now with 36 points, and Red Bull in 7th with 11 points. We got AlphaTauri in 8th with 8 points, tying Racing Point there with 8 points as well, and then Renault behind them down at the bottom with just 2 points so far. But let's see what's going to change with that as today's race will come to a close later on in the session. We're still early on in the race as yet, so let's see what's going to happen. So we might be having another safety car in the race later on. I'm not sure. If we do, we'll probably go through the driver standings in that one. But I do expect we might have another safety car. I'm not sure. It's still 18 drivers on track. It's still a busy track, as we can see. Everyone getting a bit bunched up right now, following behind the safety car. We'll get to that restart in just a bit. We're following over with TNE Hawk at the moment. But yeah, it's going to be a bit tough to avoid another safety car in this race. It might just be unavoidable. It doesn't mean that there's going to be incident between two drivers. I think that incident with Doji might have just been maybe by himself. I'm not sure as yet. I haven't seen anything in the Discord about it, but if we do get any updates on that, I will let you guys know what's been happening with that. But so far, let's see, we're on lap 5 and going. Hopefully at the end of this lap we might go to the end of the safety car. Maybe not this lap, maybe the next lap. On lap 6, it did actually happen on lap 4. I think lap 3 actually, and we then went into lap 4 and then I called that out. So let's see when the safety car is going to come to an end. I'm quite sure it's not going to be this lap where the safety car is still out and running. And we got Chris still chasing down the safety car here right now, trying to keep as close as he can. Hopefully we don't have an incident. I think just one driver, I think just Wooly left down at the back to catch up to the safety car queue, and hopefully he's able to get that done before lap 6 is done with here right now as we're going through. And we'll have a look to see if our safety car is going to be coming in on this lap. I'll just leave the driver standing, so if we do have another safety car or a VSC, maybe we'll quickly run through that as we're going through. So we've had a number of pit stops happen already in the race. I know our top 3 cars have not pitted. I don't think Rob has pitted. He started on those hards. Barry started on those mediums. So top 5 cars have not pitted in this race so far. They're running 5 laps on their tires, so that's how we know. The rest of the grid have done at least 1 pit stop so far. So let's see how the rest of the race continues on through, because top 5 cars will have to do a pit stop at some point. It's mandatory since it's a dry race. They do have to do 1 mandatory pit stop and go on to a different set of dry tires from what they started the race with. But we're going to see what they choose to do and when they choose to do those pit stops. They might be waiting for another safety car to do a pit stop, or they'll probably have to just pick a point somewhere in the race and do it. Of course, top 3 cars on the softs, those tires will only go up to a certain point, and then they will have to do that stop either way. And and Vangelis has a 5-second penalty for colliding with the car, I think, in front of him. That's probably Raceway. And yeah, safety car is going to be in on this lap, so we're getting back racing into lap 7. Crooksy is going to hold back the grid just a bit for the safety car to go off. He's already off, actually, getting back into the pits there right now. And I think Crooksy is going to get the best possible start, because he's going to be in a better position to get away pretty well. He's already about a second in front of TNE Hawk and going. I don't see TNE Hawk, but TNE Hawk is trying to close that gap right now as much as he can, as they're about to get back going here right now. Remember, no overtaking until they get across the line, as they already just went across. So track is green and we're back racing again. Let's see what the rest of the grid is going to get on through. Looks like Big Irish is getting very close to us. They're trying to get that position up. We're going to keep in a bit into the midfield here right now and see how that's working out. And Vazquez getting very close to that Ferrari in front. And Scotty in front of that. So has to hold back, can't get an overtake done right now. Track is just a little bit too narrow for this at this point in the moment. So he has to hold it there for now. So it's a bit close between this train of cars going through. Let's see what's going to happen here. We do have a few penalties that's been handed out in the race so far. And looks like Night Sniper is out of the race as well, and has That's happened just at the exit of turn 1. That's just the wrong right where Doherty was taken out of the race as well. He's already out and cleared out, so that's not going to be a VSC, just with a bit of yellow flag, and that's over with. So that's 2 drivers out of the session so far. 17 still remain. Penalties starting to come a bit into play here right now. TNE Hawk running just under a second behind Crooksy out in front with the lead of the race, and let's see what's happening here, because it looks like Raceway is trying to keep his place there in 10th. And he's chasing down Scotty for a position, so let's see how that's working out, because Scotty does have love-hate games in front of him to deal with, and he's looking for a gap here to go again, but really not getting one. On down dunk pit straight, and might try to use some DRS advantage, maybe if he has that available to him here right now, as Scotty's trying to get his position up there by himself already. So I don't think Scott is too worried about that. Ferrari and Mercedes behind of him. I think he's a bit more concerned about getting up his position as well, as we got about 4 cars trying to battle it out for P7 here at the moment. But Raceway and Vangelis trying to fight out, as Vangelis is trying to go side by side. We'll have the inside and get that position on, unless he goes wide. And doesn't go wide, actually gets through pretty well up into 9th and puts Raceway down a position into 10. So now has to worry about that Red Bull behind of him. Scott is still holding on to 8th position right now. How about half a second that gap is, and he's trying to keep that as close as possible to hopefully get that position up if he can here right now. And they're getting not getting away too far away actually from oh, and a bit of contact between Vangelis and Scotty there at the moment. Scotty taking the runaway portion of the track and gets back his position, because would have been an illegal overtake if Vangelis has gotten that done, or probably been a penalty for that. But so far so good. I don't think any damage was taken from that. DRS is now enabled again as Vangelis goes off track just a little bit and has some problems down at the back, and he's fallen down to 11th right now. So he's lost about 2 positions there. Raceway takes over 9th place behind Scotty, and he's going to try to catch back up. Mass Barrett into the pits at the moment. Might have some damage on that car, we're not sure as yet. Let's see what's happening with Vangelis and George here as he's trying to get back up. So he's back up to 10th position already, and has about 1.2 seconds to catch back up to the Ferrari in front. That's Raceway in front of him. Raceway is trying to fight it off with Scott at the moment. 4th, 8th place in the race. And it's going to be quite close between the majority of these cars in the midfield, as it's always usually quite close between most of these drivers for NHR whenever we're watching this league race. So they always tend to keep very close to each other, and I think it's because of how competitive the league is. It's quite hard for these guys to create a gap between them, but it also just provides a lot of really good racing for us to watch. So we're going to continue on here right now. Let's see what's happening. So most of our battles seems to be in the midfield right now between Scotty, Raceway and Love Hate Games at the moment, as that gap between Scotty and Love Hate Games getting pretty close. And Vangelis trying to get up a position down at the back. He's trying to get back into 9th place right now where he was before. He had a bit of an error on track. Didn't take any damage to the car, which was quite lucky on his side. So he's continuing on right now. Let's see if he gets a good run on Raceway down the pit straight. Doesn't seem to be, as Scott is still trying to get by Love Hate Games out in front. And pit lane is generally open for everyone right now. We're on lap 10 of 39 and going through. As you can see, it is quite close between these 4 cars as they continue on through. And Vangelis takes some damage. He hit the barrier there and lost an end plate. Takes the runoff area, and that's going to cost him his front wing. He's out of the race, and he's all the way in the corner. So that should hopefully not be a safety car. It will be just a VSC, as their marshals, I think, will be able to pull that car in right there. I think there's just a runoff area for him to pull it in right there. So he should be fine. That should be over in just a bit. So I think he might have missed his braking zone on that one after taking the damage. Unfortunate for him. So he's out of the race. That leaves us with just 16 drivers in the session. Now that VSC is going to be over pretty soon, as Scotty is trying to keep up with Love Hate Games here at the moment, and Jennifer is trying to keep up with Barry out front. And we got race leader Crooksy is now into the pits. We're back racing again. DRS is back online. And let's see what Crooksy is going on to. He's going on to the hard tires to go to the end of the race here right now. And I think he took some damage to his front wing. He's making a wing change. That's going to cost him a bit of time as well. So he's getting back out right now. Let's see where he comes back out. It's going to be quite a bit way down. And he's coming out just in front of Darson there, who's in P11 here at the moment. And Scott is in the pits now as well, so he's trying to get on some fresh tires and get back out on track. So TNE Hawk continues to lead the Monaco Grand Prix as we continue on through. Johnny Stokes now up into second with Rob into third. And let's see how much longer they'll be able to keep those positions as they go on through. Remember, I think Rob started on those hard tires. Yeah, he did. So he's going to have to do a pit stop at some point. That's going to put the rest of the grid up a position there when those guys decide to do a pit stop. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Going on to Lister here, who's just behind Raceway. He's trying to keep a close gap, and let's see if that's getting him anywhere or not. As Jord is actually pretty closer to Lovely Games out front, and let's have a look. That's quite a good view from this angle going through. And interesting enough to see how these cars going through. Oh, the Ferrari going for a move. A bit of a dangerous spot. He might have taken some damage, I'm not sure. That was Raceway there trying to push for a gap, and doesn't look like he took any damage, but that car is still pretty close by behind. Didn't really lose much time on that one there, but Jordan is still trying to get by, and that was really a tight gap to go for, so quite brave for him to actually try that at that point on the track. He's going to have to set himself back up again. Of course, Jordan is just a little bit busy right now trying to get by Lovely Games out front. Oh, and he made a bit of a mistake touching the wall just a little bit. Lost the position to Raceway because of that. So Raceway is up into 7. That puts Jordan down to 8 now. He's going to have to try and get past the Ferrari again if he wants to go fight back for 6th position right now. So out in front, TNE Hawk still continues to lead with Johnny Stokes in second. 1.7 seconds separate the two of them as they continue on through. And Robson running P3. Hasn't pitted as yet. Of course, on those hards, he can go quite a way in this race before pitting. Does have a penalty. I'm not sure if he has any damage. And we got Raceway and George still finding him true for this position right now. And George, this thing is trying to go side by side, and that's quite a dangerous spot to do it. He might have taken some damage on that account there, and definitely I think he lost both end plates on that front wing, so that's going to cost him some performance issues as he continues to go on through. He might have to take a pit stop with that. I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to push on through as he's losing positions right now. Crooksy goes by, Lister goes by, and Dawson goes by, so he's losing quite a few positions. And he definitely will have to go into the pits and have that change up. That's going to be a serious performance issue for him. Going back out front with Raceway right now. He is in 7th, still chasing down Lovehead Games for 6th. And it's going, I think, reasonably well for him as he's keeping in the half a second range gap between the two of them. And I continue on through that. Doesn't have any damage on that Ferrari, so he's running pretty good. Does have Crooksy coming behind him, though. Fresh tires on that car, and he's going to have a bit more of an advantage, especially having the RS as well as him. But still very hard to overtake on this track. So let's see how that's going to get done. Because they're going to have to be just a bit careful about where they push for an overtake. He's just behind Raceway here right now. Has the pace to do this, but needs a good gap to work with. Just a good section of the track to try and get that overtake done. Let's see how fast he's going to be able to get this done here. So I think this is Raceway stuck between two halves right now. And we got TNE Hawk and both Johnny Stokes, I think, into the pits right now. That puts Rob up into the lead of the race right now. Barry up in the second. And I think TNE Hawk is coming out back in the race in third. And I think Raceway is going for the move here right now on Lovely Games. Gets it done before turn 1. But Lovely Games comes back at him on the inside. And looks like he didn't actually get that position up. But Raceway keeps P6 and continues on through. Puts both Haas behind of him here right now. This might be a switch between Haas drivers. Let's see what's going to happen with Team Oilers here, because Lovely Games and Crooksy are both teammates here, and I'm not sure what's going to happen because Crooksy is on fresher tires here right now. He might have a better advantage at chasing down Raceway for that position, but let's see if the Haas drivers are going to do a switch or not. And a bit difficult to actually do a switch voluntarily on this track, so let's see how that works out. And looks like they've done the switch in the tunnel section of the track, and that puts Crooksy up into 7 now. So he's going to chase after Raceway for the 6th position. Let's see how that's working out. TNE Hawk out front on fresh mediums actually here and trying to get past Barry for 2nd place in this race. He's already done his pit stop, and I think that's Barry into the pit, so that's going to put TNE Hawk up into 2nd now. And 3.6 seconds is a gap to him for him towards Rob out in front. So let's see how that's going to continue on through, because Johnny Stokes there trying to get up a position to a P3 to get on the podium at the moment. He's on fresh mediums as well, running behind Algeria and going to fight it out for that position. Just trying to look for a gap to go on here right now, and Aljofa covers the inside. I think that was the only gap left open for the moment there, and but he did cover that pretty well. Of course, they both have penalties, so we'll see. We'll have a look at penalties in just a bit and see what's happening there actually with that. Yep, yellow flag in Sector 1 for some reason. I think someone just got off track just a bit and they're getting going there again. I think Mass Baron is about to get by Nice and Spicer as well. He's trying to get by there right now for P10. We'll have a look at that and see how that's going. Out in front, TNE Hawk chasing down Rob here in a Renault 4 race lead here. Let's see if he's able to get this position up. He's right in the rear of that Renault, but just needs to get a good gap to get by. Let's see if he's going to get this on the pit straight, as he might have the DRS advantage to use. And looks like he's going to pull it on the inside and try to get that position up. Gets it done pretty cleanly, actually. No contact between the two cars. So he's up back into the lead of the race and puts Rob down into second. Rob still has to do his one mandatory pit stop for this race. Johnny Stokes running in third. Will be able to move back up into second once that happens. That puts Aljofa into third. And Raceway probably will get up into fourth, depending on how far back they are right now. Crooksy should be able to get up into fifth at that point, and he's trying to fight his way back out in front right now, trying to get past Raceway here at the moment. And we have a virtual safety car for some sort of incident on track, so that's going to put a pause on that. Vangelis is out of the race. I think that's what might have been what causes the VSC. Not sure as yet, but probably is. He might have a few pit stops happening on the VSC, I'm not sure, depending on where cars are on track here at the moment. But yeah, so far so good for TNE Hawk. He's gotten back into the lead, and he's going to be able to hold on to that for now. So we're just waiting for the VSC to be over here, and we're going to get back racing once again. Crooksy actually pretty close by behind Raceway, so let's have a look at that gap as it is. And I think we're back racing. Yep, we are back racing. So I think Crooksy just looking for a open gap to work with here right now. Let's see if he's able to get his on anywhere around the pit straight. I think he's being held up a little bit by Raceway here, so let's see if he's able to get by. I think Raceway is trying to cover him off here right now from getting by and getting a gap going. So he's still down behind there in sixth and still trying to get by. Getting on board with Crooksy here right now to see if Raceway is going to keep covering that well that he's not able to get by. I think Crooksy was trying to go around the outside. Unfortunately, did not. Alright, so let's get on back on board with Crooksy here. So he's still trying to fight it off with Raceway for P5. That gap is extremely close. He's right on the rear of that Ferrari, but still not able to get by. Raceway is doing a pretty good job, I gotta say, covering himself from allowing Crooksy to get by here right now, which was not an illegal move he's doing. He's just covering either the inside or the outside of trying to avoid allowing Crooksy to get by here at the moment. So he's doing a pretty good job of keeping his position there in fifth place, trying to use the track to his advantage as much as he can. So TNE continues to lead in lap 19. We got about 21 laps more to go here. And Johnny Stokes still running in second, about 5.6 seconds behind. So quite a few drivers though with penalties. So we're going to see how the penalties play out when we get further to the end of the race. Well, to the end of the race and across the line, and see how well that's going to work out. As we got Raceway now into the pits. That puts Crooksy up into 5th quite easily for him. And let's see how that works out for the rest of the grid here right now, because I'm trying to look where is the next close gap we have. Down in the back here we got Maz Baron and Barry actually still pretty close together. Let's have a look at these two here right now. We're fighting out off for 13th position in the race. I think Barry is trying to catch up to Scotty there, who's running in 12th at the moment. Dawson now into the pits there as well. Rob still has not pitted in this race thus far, and he's still running here in P3 at the moment. Still a really pretty good position. I think he's probably getting the most position in the race so far. We'll see how he does though when he does have to do that one pit stop. I think Aljufa will have to do another pit stop there as well, because I don't think those tires are going to make it to the end of the race. As well as Lovehead Games has done 18 laps on his tires. I don't think he's pitted in the race so far either. So he's gonna, but pretty good for him if he just hasn't taken any damage at this point in the race, and he's still running on his set of tires that he started the race on. So that does kind of help you gain a lot of position on a track such as Monaco, where it's very, very hard to overtake. And you do lose a lot of time if you have to take a pit stop around here. So avoiding damage on your car is one of the most important aspects of a race like this. So good job on them actually for keeping their car going. Even if you took some minor damage, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Should still be able to continue on. Raceway takes another penalty there right now. And looks like Masber might be losing a bit of time maybe to Barry here, because gap is just being a bit constant actually, I gotta say, around for a half a second. So he's gonna continue on with that for now, and let's see if he's able to catch Barry in the Renault for P12. I think McLaren are a bit higher up in the constructor standings as they are. Oh, a bit drifty off that turn there, but able to keep control of his car and continues on through here right now. We got Raceway about to get past Nice and Spicy there for P8, and he's really looking for a gap to get around. TNE Hug gets the fastest lap of the race so far, as he's leading, has a bit of free air to work with in front of him here at the moment. We got Raceway in the Ferrari. He's definitely looking for a way to get by here right now, but as we were seeing with car behind him, it's really not easy to overtake around here, so he's gonna have to keep on going. Oh, he's having it done in the tunnel section, takes the inside on the tunnel section and gets that position up, and gets it quite cleanly done actually through the tunnel, and gets up into P8. That's Nice and Spicer down into P9 now. And that's going to continue on through. Miles Baron there still running under a second behind Barry, therefore P12 now as it is. We'll keep an eye on that, but I'll see how it continues on. So now Raceway already getting a bit of a gap going, and he's trying to catch up to Lister, who's about 9 seconds or a little more out in front of him. We'll see how that continues on. As Crooksy here in P5, he's trying to catch up to Aljufa Federa in P4 right now. Gap is about 1.3 seconds, so he's breaking that down pretty quickly actually, and let's see how fast he can get it under a second, because that does seem to be happening pretty quickly here. Out in front, T York leads pretty well though, about 10 seconds of a gap he has to Johnny Stokes there in second. And Rob there still running in third, does have penalty now, but still 20 laps done on those hard tires so far, and looks like he might be doing a one-stop going on to the soft tires to go to the end of the race. We'll see how that works out for him, because so far so good on that strategy that he is actually working with there at the moment. And we do have a close gap. We got Crooksy getting by Aljufa on the pit straight here right now before turn 1, gets the position done quite cleanly, and no contact between the two cars, so he's up into P4. And he's going to be chasing down behind Rob right now. So it looks like he automatically will be getting onto a podium position once Rob does his pit stop here, because he's just about 4 seconds behind. And I think he's going to continue on through, just trying to even get that position up before that pit stop happens. Scotty here trying to get by the Racing Point of Nice and Spice here for P9 at the moment. Let's see how that works. So I think Nice and Spice just went into the pit, so that's going to put Scotty up quite easily up into 9th position here right now. He's about 6.4 seconds behind Raceway and the Ferrari there. So let's see how fast he's able to break that gap down and catch up at the moment. Going back down at the back, we're still following on. Maz Baron here still chasing down Barry there for 11th position as it is. and having a bit of a difficult time getting past the Renault still of Barry, and he's keeping a gap very, very close, actually doing a pretty good job at that, but just very difficult to get an overtake done on this track without actually any contact or you know, just avoiding the barriers altogether. So let's see how much longer he's gonna have to chase Barry down to get that position up. He is on two lap fresher tires, but still going to be a little bit difficult to do at that point. So let's see how that works out. So we still got Rob still running P3 again, 22 laps on those tires so far, so it's quite a way he's done on them. We'll see how that works out. Darson there in P13, he's catching up to Mass Baron there in P12 as well, so he's trying to get in on this battle here for P11. I think that's going to continue on through a little bit more. We're on lap 23 right now, way past the halfway point of this race. And yeah, we're going to continue on through still at the moment. Seems like Masban might be getting a bit disconnected for a second, but he's going again. And Darson catching up pretty quickly here right now, so he's going to be looking to get by that McLaren and get up into 12th position if he can here right now. And we're going to keep an eye on this battle as it continues on through, because it looks like Darson might be able to get that overtake done, but it's still, he does need a gap to get past, and we'll see if he's actually does have a better strategy of getting an overtake done on this track. I think every driver does have their own personal way that they do attempt to try and get an overtake done, or at what point on the track they actually attempt this. But let's see if Darson is able to get that done. His teammate Raceway is up there in P8 at the moment, trying to keep ahead of Scotty and trying to catch up to Lister there in 7th position. Masbaran has managed to still keep that gap between himself and Barry out in front. A bit constant, still about half a second, and well, Darson is just about half a second behind as well. So it's a bit unclear about how this is going to play through, and if they're going to be continuing on this all the way to the end on the finish line or not, I'm not sure as yet. But let's keep an eye and see how that's going to work out. Actually, let's bring up penalties here and see what penalties that look like. So Johnny Stokes and Rob both have 5 seconds of penalty. We know Rob does have to pit. That's going to put Crooksy up into P3, and will go up into P4, and I think Rob is going to come out back in front of Love Hate Games there, who's in P6. So he's going to come out back in P5, which is not a bad position for him, which I think is actually a pretty good strategy that he's done so far in this race. So 3 seconds of penalties go both for Love Hate Games and Aljuda there, as well as Scotty there down in 9th. Raceway has 6 seconds, Big Irish has 11, and Barry has 6 seconds. 9 for Masbaran, 3 for Darson, and 6 for Jordan. Nice and Spicer out of this race. He has a DNF. He's out, I think, in sector 1 there. Let's have a look if we can what happened there. We might have a look from Wooly's car what happened to him there. Oh, that's a safety car, my bad. I thought that was his car. And it's a full safety car for that incident, so let's get on out in front. Now this safety car might be a very good chance for Rob here to do his pit stop, so let's have a look. Where is he on track right now? Has a bit of way to go around though, but I think it might be a very good chance for him to take his pit stop and maybe get back out right there in 3rd, because gap to Aljuda down in 4th is about 24 seconds. I think that's quite enough time for him to get into the pits and get back out and still hold on to 3rd position here right now. Let's see how that works out for him, because quite a way to catch up to Johnny out in P2. And Johnny Stokes is in the pits there as well, so he's kind of in a rush. He's going to have to avoid speeding under the safety car here right now though, to avoid getting that penalty, because I don't think he wants to deal with that penalty right about now. He's let's see, he's not getting into the pits actually. He's continuing on through at the moment. I think he might be trying to push his car another lap on those tires before actually doing the pit stop, and just try to get the new set of tires as fresh as possible before the safety car restart, because he does have a gap to work with. He's now back up into 2nd place in this race, and Johnny Stokes down to 3rd. So when he does do the pit stop, he is going to get back down to 3rd, and that's going to put Johnny Stokes back in 2nd, because he does have to do that pit stop, and I think he's going to probably be doing it on this lap coming up here right now. If I was him, I'd probably do it on this lap, but let's see what his race strategy is going to be here right now, because we're going to follow him until he gets to that pit entry and see if he's going to do the pit stop on this occasion or not. And looks like we have TNE Hawk into the pits there as well. Let's have a look. Is he going in? Nope. It doesn't seem like he did. So he's still staying out on these tires, not choosing to pit us yet. I don't know if he's gonna do it on this lap or not. We're gonna have a look and see. But TNE Hawk went into the pits. He's on fresh, soft tires, getting back out right now in second place in this race. And he will know that Rob will have to do a pit stop. So he's going to be counting on that to get him back a race lead. Johnny Stokes will be getting him back as well. I think Rob knows what he's doing because his strategy seems to be working pretty well. He's only going to be falling back down into third place when he does do that pit stop still, I think. Not sure as yet. Actually, I don't think that's the case anymore. It looks like he's going to fall a little further down because Altuve is now only 10 seconds behind Johnny Stokes. So that gives him about a 17 seconds gap between himself and the guy in fourth place. So I don't think that's enough to do a pit stop. He might fall a position extra down now than he would have if he'd done the pit stop on the previous lap. I think it would have been better, but I'm not sure what strategy he's trying to play here right now. I think that's the only thing I'm actually trying to focus on. What strategy exactly is he trying to pull off here at the moment? Because I know he has not done a pit stop as yet. I'm just going to check that to be sure. And he is the only car who has not done a pit stop in this race. Wooly has done 6 pit stops so far, which I think is the most. Unfortunately, no trophy for that. Going down to positions gained, he has gained the most positions in the race and probably still would be the driver gaining the most positions even after the race finishes. But I'm just a bit curious to see what his strategy is with the pit stop. And looks like he might be going in. Nope, not going in on this occasion either. So looks like I don't know when he plans to do a pit stop here or not. But I think the safety car is going to be coming in on this current lap that we're on here right now. That's lap 28. So I think his chances are out for that. So he's going to fall along the order quite a bit when he does do a pit stop. I think his best chance was on the second lap during the safety car to do that pit stop, and he would have fallen down into third and be on fresh soft tires to continue to the end of the race. Because I think he'll go on to fresh softs. He's going to go to the end of the race on those. And I think it's just about 11 to 12 laps left in this race. So I think that was actually quite enough laps for him to do that on and actually finish the race right there in P3. Of course, the penalties as he does have will push him down maybe a position or two depending on how far he keeps the car behind of him. But let's see if we're going one more lap under the safety car now. But either way, he's still going to lose a lot more positions than expected in this race here. And that behind him is his teammate there. I think that's Barry there in the other Renault, who is kind of a lap down, I think. That's why he's running there. He's not able to overtake the safety car as yet. Might be able to do that on this lap if the safety car is not going in. We'll see how that works out here. But anyway, we got just about 11 to 12 laps left in the race. And I think, let's see if we're getting back racing. Yeah, there we go. Safety car is going to be in on this lap. We're about to get back racing here right now. Well, let's get back out front and follow on. So TNE Hockey is going to be a bit held up by Rob's teammate there, who's just between of them. He's a back marker. He's going to have to let him get through though. I think he's gone into the pits there. So that's going to free that area up. As we're about to get back racing here right now. But TNE Hockey is about 2.8 seconds down. So let's see how that's going to work out, because we get following on with Johnny Stokes and Aljuda for their P3 and 4. That's working. Crooksy trying to get past Aljuda for here for P4. And quite a close gap between them. Raceway is out of this race here right now, and that's his car down at the back there. Not even sure what happened. He might have been thrown into the wall a little bit, and unfortunate for him, he's out. That's going to be yellow flag until that is cleared off the track, hopefully by the time we get back around. So hopefully not another safety car or VSC for that. We just got a safety car restart going here. And out in front, we got Rob still leading the race right now with TNE Hawk about to get by. Takes it on the inside of the exit of the tunnel section, and looks like he gets by. Takes back the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. That's Rob down into second, and Johnny Stokes coming at him very quick behind. And he looks like he might be trying to get that position up as well. Rob is on pretty old tires, so he's going to have some trouble in that department there right now. Let's see how that strategy works for him, unless we're having some sort of wrong graphic on our screen about pit stops for Rob. And he's continuing on in this race, still not doing any pit stops as yet. And we're on lap 30 of 39 here right now, continuing on through. Johnny is just about 0.2 of a second behind us, looking to get by to go up into second place right now. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that done. We got Big Irish and Lister down the back into the pits there right now. They might have taken some damage off of this restart, and let's see if Johnny is able to get by. And tries to use that gap, and looks like he might have gotten that done. A bit of a mistake on Rob's end, and left enough of a gap open for Johnny Stokes to get by up into second place. That's quite a good move he actually did to try to pull that off and got it done. So now we got Crooksy there in P4. He's going to be trying to get by Rob for P3. Now those old tires are going to be start telling on that car. So a bit of a minor contact between the two of them. Rob did not want to get that position up, but you have to give it up either way. So that's going to be him down into fourth position right now. The alternative for now behind him will be trying to get by as well. I think it might have been a mistake not doing the pit stop on under the safety car where he should have done it. He would have still been running in P3 and had a much better chance, have much more grip on those tires. But unfortunately for him, I'm not sure what this strategy play is here. He's already 29 laps on those hard tires and still pushing on through. Now 30 laps in, which is quite possible on the tires, but I think he really should have taken the pit stop, because he does have to do a pit stop before finishing this race. Otherwise he will be disqualified under not following race rules here right now, because I'm not sure that's going to work out, because it hasn't been a wet session in any way. Anyway, let's see how this works out for him, because Aljufa is under a second behind him right now and looking for a gap just to get by up into P4. There's still a close gap between the two of them, but just not enough a close of a gap for Aljufa to get a gap to get by. Does need quite a good chance to get an overtake done, and does depend on the kind of the bit of the driver's sides as well, in terms of how good they are at overtaking. And Rob makes a mistake, loses the rear end of the car, and he goes into the pits now. Does decide to actually do a pit stop. Almost had a bit of a spin just at the entry of the pit lane there. I think he's serving a 5-second stop-go penalty before doing a pit stop. Yes, he is, and he's going on to the mediums to go to the end race. Let's see where he is going to get back out of this track, though, as we're following out in front right now. Let's see what's happening here. So TNE continues to lead this race. No penalties on him. Johnny Stokes running there in second place right now. No penalties as well. Crooksy runs in third. Looks like he's going to be our top three so far, as it seems, as they might be finishing right where they are. Aljufa there running in fourth place right now. Does have a penalty, but I don't think that's going to really matter too much for him. Does depend on what the penalty is, though. We'll have a look at that in just a bit. We got Scotty now running in fifth. Dawson runs in sixth. Rob now back out to the pit lane and runs in seventh place. Has about a 17-second gap to the car in front. Lister there running in eighth. And we got Big Irish running in 9. Love Hate Games running in 10 there right now. Big Irish trying to get under a second with the car in front of him. That is Lister in the Mercedes there. And let's see if he's able to get that gap broken down or not. Crooksy trying to break his gap down towards Johnny Stokes there in second. That gap is about 2.8 seconds right now. Scotty's got his gap under a second. Let's have a look at what's going on with him, because he's trying to catch up to Aljufa there for P4 at the moment. We're going to be switching on penalties in just a bit to have a look at what's happening with that and who's going to be losing positions at the end of this race. But so far so good. It has been quite an interesting session, as we had kind of expected it would. It is the Monaco Grand Prix, always one of these most exciting races that we have on the calendar here. And as I said, we do expect this sort of excitement next week with round 8 for this league here again for NHR, because it's going to be the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's going to be a very tight track, just as this one is. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that race as well. So look forward to getting to that one next week. We got Big Irish getting very close there to Lister in 8. Let's see if that's overtaking is going to happen or not. Of course, gaps can get right down to 0.1 of a second here, and still cars might not be able to get an overtake on, as we saw the McLaren try to get on the inside, but not enough room actually for him to even try and get through. And he's trying to push on through right now to get past this. So still, gap is still about half a second. Scotty still has his gap about half a second there right now. George seems to be a bit disconnected, and is a back marker in the grid there right now as well. Down there in 12. So let's keep on with this gap as we continue on through here right now. We're going to switch between this and the gap with Scotty and Algeria out in front. See who's going to get that position up. Lister gets a penalty coming under pressure from Big Irish there in 9th at the moment. A bit of a lockup, I think, from Algeda's car, which is where that smoke came off from just a second ago, unless his car has a problem we're not aware of as yet. But yeah, Scott is still trying to get a position up here right now. On lap 34 and going here at the moment. I think our race leaders will be entering into lap 35 pretty soon. So yeah, you can see that gap is getting pretty close between these two guys, but still it's going to be quite difficult for Scotty to get that overtake done. I think that might have been a bit of carbon fiber flying around, as I see like both end plates are missing from Scotty's car here right now. So that's going to be some significant damage to his car, but at this point in the race, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it for him to risk a pit stop unless he knows he's going to lose positions here. He has the car behind his Darson there, 5.6 seconds. Let's see if he's able to keep his car in 5th position all the way to the end of the race. He's definitely going to have some trouble fighting with Algeria for that position now, as that's going to compromise his car performance just a bit. Let's see that gap between him and Darson down behind is going to be dropping or not. Gap is still about 5.3 seconds going on through, but he's having some serious performances. He's having both end plates off of the car there right now, and he's losing time out front, and Darson is starting to gain some time off of him here at the moment, 4.7 seconds. Let's see if that's going to continue going on down. Going back down to Big Irish here at the moment. So Scotty might be under threat of losing at least one position before we get to the end of the race there. Following on Big Irish, he's still chasing down Lister. Looks like he's trying to go side by side with him, and still has to hold it on there in 9th. So having a very difficult time trying to get that overtake done. Willie seems to be a lap down at the back there, but still running in 14th in this race. Actually still running in the race. So still, I think a good job for that. Unfortunate that we have about 5 drivers out of this race so far, but it is Monaco, quite a difficult track for a lot of drivers, so we do expect situations like this to happen on a track such as this. So let's see how many drivers will be able to finish this race, and what finishing positions they're going to be getting when we get to that point. So I think everyone's done their pit stop so far, so just about getting to the end of the race at this point here right now. Scotty out front losing a bit more time, but still has Darson about 4 seconds behind. So let's see, he has about another 3.5 laps to go in this race, and let's see if he's able to keep that car in 5th place as it is right now. We'll have to have a look at penalties in just a bit to see how that's going to work out. I don't think any more pit stops are required for any more of these drivers. Everyone should be able to go to the end of the race on the tires that they're currently running on, but still following our Big Irish here to see if he's able to get by up into 8th place. He's desperately fighting for that position right now. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping up with Lister, but just not able to get by. He's trying to push for a position, but doesn't want to risk it, and I think this is a good opportunity to try and get it here right now. Oh, but Lister covers off the inside, and he's not able to get it done. So he's going to have to set himself up and try for that position once again if he can. Let's have a look at penalties as they are here right now. So it does look like Scotty might be able to get a position up depending on how close he can keep to Algeria. No, actually he's going to... No, my bad. He's going to be keeping that position because... He's going to be losing a position to Darson because he has a 6-second penalty and Darson is within 3 seconds of his car. So he's going to be losing out on 5th place. He's going to be going down to 6th. That's going to be Darson in 5th. Looks like Al-Zulfa might be able to keep his 4th position. And going down to Rob there. He should be able to keep his position as well as Lister there. Big Irish will be finishing in 9th, but then I think Lafayette Games there in 10th might be taking that position away because of a 6-second difference between the two of them. Mans Baron will finish right there in 9th, and Barry will finish here in 12th. George should be finishing right there in 13th, and Wooly will be finishing right there in 14th. I'll say a good job on him for only getting 1 3-second penalty in this race so far. So that's how it goes. We're going to keep the penalties on as we continue to the end of the race and go on through. So it looks like so far Scott is able to hold on to his 5th place position. He might be crossing the line in 5th, but he will be going down to 6th due to that penalty difference between the two of them. And Darson now takes another penalty, so that kind of evens it out. So if Scotty can cross the line P5, he's going to be able to keep P5 at this point. So that's going to be changing things up just a bit now. 2 seconds is a gap between him and Darson there for 6. So let's see if he's able to hold on. 1.9 seconds right now. He's starting to drop just a bit, but he has to do this for 1.5 lap more if he does want to keep that position there. Beggar is still trying to get by Lister here for P8, and unfortunately not able to get that going as yet. A yellow flag there in sector 2. Someone has a problem, and I'm not sure who that is right now, but he's gotten back going, whoever it was. Might have been Al Junifer, I'm not even sure. But whoever it was has gotten back going again. Still an extremely close gap between these two guys here. And I think this is going to continue all the way into the final lap of the race. And let's see if that's going to change at any point. As we can see, Big Harris trying to go around the outside, just not enough gap to work with. He might have to just look like he might finish. Oh, and Darson gets by Scotty here. Up into P5 he goes. He actually gets that position up. Either way, I think Scotty was gonna lose it because of the damage on his car. He was having a very difficult time keeping that gap and trying to maintain it. Already lost a second to Darson there as he's trying to go out in front. And he's under threat right now of losing 6th position at the race finish if he's not able to keep the gap over 3 seconds between himself and Rob there. Unfortunately, I think that's still going to be a lost cause because he does have a 6-second penalty. Rob only has a 3-second penalty, so with the gap that's left, I think he's still going to be falling down to 7 on the race finish there. We're on the final lap here right now with Johnny Stokes are about half a second behind TNE Hawk, chasing him down for the lead of the race, and I think that might just keep as it is as they go on to the finish line unless TNE Hawk makes some sort of error, which he's not used to really doing. So on lap 39 we go around here right now, about to get onto the pit straight, and let's see who's crossing the line in front. Johnny Stokes is trying to get a good go on him before they get to the line, but doesn't get it. That's TNE Hawk takes pole position for the race. Johnny Stokes takes 2nd. Christy comes across for P3, and where is Aldridge? He's coming around right now, about 29 seconds behind. So we're waiting for this set of drivers to get through, and it looks like he's going to be finishing in P4. And we should have Darson finish right there in P5. Rob will be finishing 6th, and looks like Scott is down into 7th position right now, where he'll be finishing. Alright, so that's all good for across the line. He goes P4. We got Darson come around. He goes P5. Rob comes around right now. He's going to be going P6. And then we got Scotty coming around without a front wing apparently for P7. And still gets it up though, but let's see. We got Lister and Big Irish still fighting out for this position right now. Big Irish, even though he has 9 seconds of penalties, he's been fighting it with Lister for quite a number of laps here right now. Lister goes across the line for P8 and Big Irish goes across for 9th. And we got George finishing 13, Wooly finishes 14. We got Mass Baron finishing 11th. Love It Games goes up to 9th, and Barry will come across the line in P12. And that's finishing 12. So let's see who gets driver of the day. Was it Rob or not? No, Darson gets driver of the day on this occasion. He actually ended up getting in most positions, gaining that position away from Scotty there. So that was a good effort on his end. And let's have one last look at our results before we do end off here today. Now, quite an interesting race though, from qualifying all the way down to the start. There was some really competitive lap times, so we did expect quite a bit of battles to go on through for the race, which actually did end up happening. So one last look at the result. I'm not sure who got the fastest lap in this session, but we should be able to see that here right now. So it looks like TNE Hawk takes pole position for the race and fastest lap as well. Johnny Stokes takes second. And we got Crooksy taking third. Aldridge takes fourth. Dawson takes fifth and driver of the day. Rob takes sixth. Scotty takes seventh. Lewis lost about 2 positions because of that damage that he did sustain in the race. Lister takes 8. Love Hate Games takes 9. Big Average was fighting it with Lister but ended up having to take 10. Maz Briner finishes 11. Barry takes 12. George takes 13. Wooly is going to take 14. Raceway takes 15. Nice Spicer takes 16. Bachelor takes 17. Night Sniper takes 18. And Dorji takes 19, getting off of the race early off in the session. Anyway guys, that's it for round 7 of 22 for New Horizon Racing. Next week we're going to have round 8 at Azerbaijan, so it should be quite an interesting session. Next live stream should be on Sunday, so join us back then. I think we'll probably be with 2 races on that day. I don't think we have anything for tomorrow unless I do come across with something, but I don't think so for tomorrow. So we're going to be off for tomorrow and then back on Sunday.